Hey whales, good morning, happy Saturday. Let's go over and recap the markets and NVIDIA for next week's trading session. For those that don't know me though, I'm a full-time trader. I do these updates every single day. And if you want my actual trades though guys, come join Discord. I give my exact entries, targets, stop losses, everything that you need here to succeed. So if you need help in figuring out when to get into companies like NVIDIA, Tesla, Meta, come join. You're going to make a lot of money with us. So we'll see you guys here. All right, so with that said, let's dive in. Coming into last week, we were looking for a low across the markets, and it does look like we have a potential for a low to be in place, right? So for NVIDIA, potentially a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finishing off all of a wave 1, and then a WXY correction finishing off for wave 2, all right? Now, I am still skeptical about this being the low, right? We could have one more marginal low like this because, again, as I've mentioned in the past, oil, the yen pairs, Nikkei, right, in Japan, as well as the transportation sector, they're still not at equal lengths across the board here, right? So just don't be surprised if we get one more marginal low that hits around 75 down to even like 65 in the future here, okay? So if you're a long-term investor, in my opinion, any marginal low should definitely be a buy, right? I would stay long if you're long as of right now, right? Even though there's an invalidation level here, you should just stay long, right? So this is sort of just what I want to point out, just in case we're not done finishing the correction, okay? So if we're going with the bullish path, right, we're expecting a dip to occur any day now, right, over the course of the next week or so. And on this dip, when it does occur, NVIDIA needs to hold this low, right? It needs to hold this low. It cannot break below the validation level. So we're looking to see whether or not it can hold that low and start a new bullish sequence towards the upside, right? And now there is a surprise where if the transportation sector and everything does a double correction, right, this could also occur, okay? Which is, you know, unlikely, but we need to make sure we keep that in order where this could be a double correction, something like this, okay? Because Bitcoin can also do the same thing. You can see on Bitcoin here, right? Let me get rid of some of these drawings, right? It's sort of in the same element, right? We got a bullish divergence on a daily on Bitcoin, looking for a bounce, right, to at least the 50 back here before it decides whether or not it takes the blue path, right, towards the highs, or it does a double correction like this and takes it closer to 50K on Bitcoin here. So very similar to how NVIDIA is going to play out, as well as the rest of the US equities like Tesla. So you got to keep a lookout for Bitcoin on sort of what it's going to be doing. Okay, so if Bitcoin does a double correction, where it does a WXY, same thing is going to happen on NVIDIA, and Bitcoin's going to land around 50K. All right, so you just got to be mindful of that scenario. All right, but you know, let's not worry about that as of right now. Let's concentrate sort of on the WXY potential as a bottom here, okay? So if this is the case, let's go down to the 30-minute time frame. So on the 30-minute time frame, guys, right, we're looking to see whether or not NVIDIA is bottomed, and we need some more separation from the lows here, okay? So we're looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4, looking for one more wave higher, pushing past wave 3, closer to 117 to 122, guys. All right. So our Discord group, right, we longed here, guys, right? This was the long here at 96. So we took profits at the wave 3. We also longed right here at 104, right? And we're staying long. We're seeing whether or not, you know, we can push up higher, okay? So if you're a trader, in my opinion, right, you could long NVIDIA, right? This was sort of the long you should have taken, but you could also long here on the C, as well as the dip on A coming down, right? Because there's going to be 5 waves in. Of course, there's going to be a dip coming. So you can buy the dips and you can put your stop loss underneath the invalidation level at 86, because if the lows do break, guys, right, it's going to come down to 75. So you want to save yourself and have a stop loss at the invalidation level, right? That's why we have invalidation levels, to make sure you don't lose money if you're trying to risk it to go long here, okay? So still looking to see whether or not NVIDIA can make that one more high for an ABC correction. And if the lows can hold, guys, right, there's going to be a lot of chop across these lows. We're looking for more upside here, right? And if we take the fib extensions, right, potentially you're looking at NVIDIA around 137 to 125 as the main targets here on the next leg up. All right, so just expect some chop here, right, from the 3 to the 5. Okay, the last pivots that took place, this took about 26 days, guys, right? So you can expect another 26 days for this entire cycle to sort of play out. Okay, so just stay patient, and we'll see how the markets are going to reveal itself. Remember, you need to make sure you keep an eye out on Bitcoin, on what it's doing, because it can do something funky like a marginal new low, or it can do a double correction where it goes a 3-wave move up, right, and then one more leg lower, right, and then higher like this. Okay, so this is sort of the Bitcoin path that it can take, just in case we do get that death cross across, the S&P 500. If things don't play out, this can definitely happen. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Let's see what's going to happen for Monday. Until then, have a great rest of your weekend.